Thank you.
Okay. So earlier, what we did, we have configured one domain controller. Into the domain controller, we have configured DHCP, DNS, and ADDS roles. Into the DDC, what we did, we have joined this machine into our domain and we have logged in with our domain administrator account and we have installed the core components of Citrix in this machine, right? Now,
Yeah.
what we have to do, we have to set up a site in this machine, but before setting up a site, we will be requiring one hypervisor. Okay, so in this uh, lecture, what we will do, we will learn how to install and configure a Citrix hypervisor. So basically, before we start, just let me know what is hypervisor and what are the types of hypervisor. Do you have any idea?
The types are, I think, little bit. I got knowledge of these hypervisors.
Mm-hmm.
The types of hypervisors are, the Citrix product is
No,
Citrix
no,
Hypervisor.
no, no, no,
No. And what about the VMware
no,
ESXi?
no. These are
No.
not the types of hypervisor. These are the brands of hypervisors from different
Okay. Okay.
organizations. Okay, so basically there are two types of hypervisors available in the market. Okay,
Hmm.
type 1 and type 2 hypervisor. So
Okay.
type 1 hypervisor is known as bare metal hypervisor, right?
Okay.
And type 2 hypervisor is known as operating system hypervisor, right?
Okay.
So basically, if we talk about the type 1 hypervisor, which is always used in production, in type 1 hypervisor, what we do, we just install hypervisor as a operating system on the physical hardware itself, right?
Okay.
Just suppose if you have got like Citrix hypervisor ISO, you just have to directly install that hypervisor on physical Dell server or HP server, whatever the server you have, right? So
Okay.
after that, you can create virtual machine on that hypervisor to virtualize the hypervisor. And another type hypervisor is type 2 hypervisor, which we are using right now. In our case, this is VMware Workstation Pro. Why it is
Okay.
known as type 2 hypervisor? Just because this hypervisor requires an operating system to be installed, right? As you can see, it is running on Windows 10 right now, right? So some
Yeah.
operating system will be required to use those type of hypervisor. And example for those hypervisors are your VirtualBox, VMware Workstation Pro, or any other hypervisor, whatever available into the market. And Docker, if you have heard about the Docker, so Docker
Yeah.
is also the hypervisor of type 2. Okay,
Okay.
so in production, we always use type 1 hypervisor, right? Type 2 hypervisor is for R&D purpose only.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Okay. And what about what comes under if the workstation, VMware workstation, and the virtual box coming under the type 2, then what comes into the ESXi? It comes in the type 1
Yeah, ESXi, Citrix hypervisor, those
and
hypervisor,
Hyper-V?
yeah, Hyper-V also comes under the type 1. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
because they actually do not require any operating system. They itself installed as a operating system on physical hardware. Got it?
Okay.
Because those are the Linux flavor. So let me show you. Now we are going to create the hypervisor, right? So from here, new virtual machine, typical is fine. I will mount a letter it. So now actually every hypervisor is Linux based only. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the only reason I am selecting Linux here. And from here, my uh, hypervisor that is available in market right now from Citrix is 64-bit. Okay, so I am going to select this one. Other Linux 5x or later kernel 64-bit. Okay, next.
Okay.
Here I can rename it like Gen server IS101. Click on next. Now it is asking for maximum disk size. So disk size, it should be at least 150 GB.
150 GB.
Yeah.
Okay.
And memory, where is the memory part? How much I can allocate? Let me check. It's 12.9 GB already utilized, like 82%. Okay, so as we are just installing the operating system, we will increase memory later. Okay, so just for installing purpose, I am making it 4 GB. Okay,
Okay.
and we have to enable this option as well, virtualization. Why? Because we are installing hypervisor on another hypervisor, as I told you earlier, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But in production it is always you will get always type 1 hypervisors in the production, okay, in or into
Okay.
the data center. No one
Okay.
will use those type of hypervisor like type 2 in production. Okay,
Okay.
so coming to the processor, let's make it 4. And what we have to do, we have to mount an ISO image. Here it is, Citrix 8.2, and network adapter is host only. I am configuring my machines in host only network. So let's close it. Oh, one more thing I forgot. The display, specify monitor setting. You can set as per your screen resolution. Okay.
Okay.
So let's power it on.
Okay. I
So as
just
I
need.
as I
I
told
just need
you,
to. Yeah.
as this is a Linux based machine. Okay. So to install this hypervisor, you have to use your keyboard only. Mouse will not work. Okay.
Okay.
So it is booting from the ISO media which we have mounted. So have you ever worked on Linux machines? How
Um,
comfortable you are with Linux flavors?
Very basically, not deep knowledge.
Mhm.
Very basic. But
Okay, listen. Every hypervisor which is available into the market is running on Linux only. Okay. So I will let you know how to manage Linux machines. You just have to remember few basic commands, just like how to clear cache from Linux machines. Okay. How to configure the IP address in Linux machines, those kind of. Okay, anyway, so now it is asking to select the keyboard layout. So UK, not UK, US I will select. Okay. As usual, click on OK. Now it will check the hard drive. After that, we have to accept the license. So this is our hard drive, which we have selected 150 GB. So enable thin provisioning. So what do you know about the provisioning, hard drive provisioning? How many types of provisioning is available or you heard about?
I think I heard only soft and hard
No.
provisioning.
Two provisionings are there, thin provisioning and thick provisioning.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Thin
Thin
provisioning
and
is for the virtual machines. Like just suppose if you have to configure a virtual machine, right?
yeah.
And in physical machine, just suppose this is my laptop, right? And it's a physical machine, okay.
Yeah.
And if I go here into my hard drive, right?
Yeah.
So it's 500 GB SSD, okay. And what I did, I just installed one operating system for that much of hard drive, right? This comes under the thick provisioning. Why? Because I'm allocating the entire hard drive, which is actually not required to operate Windows 10. Why? Because Windows 10 can work on 32 GB of hard drive as well, right?
Yeah.
So for virtual machines, what we will do, as we have allocated 150 GB of hard drive to our hypervisor, right? So
Yeah.
in that 150 GB of hard drive, we can create multiple virtual machines with 32 GB of hard drive. Why? Because we do not means we cannot afford to allocate 500 GB hard drive to every user. Why? Because it will be useless, na? It is
Yes.
just waste of money.
Yeah.
So this comes under thin provisioning. We are actually modifying the hard drive as a VDisk. VDisk means virtual disk.
That's right. Okay.
So again, let me hit tab button and press space for selection. Again, I'm going to source type is local media, which we have already mounted. Hit OK. So here is an option to test your installation media, but I'm sure my installation media is fine. So I'm skipping the verification. But if you are not sure about the ISO media, you can verify installation media as well. But verifying may take some time, right? So we do not waste our time into verifying the installation media, right?
Okay.
Okay, so skip it, hit OK. Now it is asking to set a password for root user. As I
Okay.
think you already aware, like in Windows, default user is administrator, but in Linux, default user is root user. Okay.
Okay.
So let me enter some password here. Now it is asking for the IP configuration. If you want to give some static IP, you can do that. But as we have configured DHCP scope already, so this machine will automatically get IP address from our DHCP scope. Okay. But
DSCP. Okay.
but in production, we always prefer to allocate static IP address to servers, not to the desktop clients. Okay.
Okay.
Now it is asking for the host name. So let's make it Gen server -01. This will be a host name, spelling mistake, I think. Gen mhm, Gen server -ser. No, again spelling mistake. Gen server -01. Okay, this will be the host name. Okay,
Okay.
and it will automatically get the time DNS from DHCP scope as well.
Okay.
Now time zone is Asia for me and city is Kolkata because Delhi or Mumbai is not listed in Citrix.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
that is the only reason I'm selecting Kolkata.
Okay.
Okay, it will get local time from my domain controller. That is fine. That is also fine. You do not have to configure any NTP server and let's install it. So it will take a while for installation.
Okay.
So you guys are still means have to visit office or you guys are working from home?
Well, most of the problems, they come at the site actually. So
Mm-hmm.
it depends actually if it is HR or any other department, they are working from home. But those who are in sales and all,
Mm-hmm.
if they want to access the computer because the computer's availability is very high in the sales, we cannot.
Right.
Yeah, so the few departments are there. Even the accounting also, that is hybrid option available. But the sales guys, they're purely have to be at place so that whenever the problem comes, they have to
Mm-hmm.
uh, check it out immediately.
Okay. Actually, I am working from home since 2020.
Oh, that's
2021.
good.
It's almost more than 2 years now. Because
Okay.
what I have to do, I just have to take a remote of my data center, my hypervisor, to sort out the issues. My engineers are deployed at site. So if I have to perform some physical operation, I can guide them like
Hmm.
what you have to do and
Yeah, yeah,
to which server you have to go, how to power it on or how to power it
yeah,
off if required. So those things
yeah.
can be
You're right.
covered easily.
That's right. Yes.
And apart from that, my only job profile is to design the infra and to guide my engineers. Actually,
Okay.
recently I have visited UK as well
That's good. That's good.
and to deploy a data center for one of my client.
Okay,
And
good.
on that time, I was with some of my juniors who are actually very talented. So I refer them for my support over there.
Okay, good.
So those kind of uh, visits are regular, but and right now those are very less after the COVID actually. So
Okay.
in this scenario, what I have to do, I have to hire a local desktop team or server team uh, at client location, and I have to guide them. I have to share them the infra what or design what I have created, and I have to guide them the actual physical locations of server, the network diagram, what kind of network diagram to we follow, how to connect all
Okay.
the servers together, how to manage the ISKG or network storage devices.
Okay.
So those things I'm configuring remotely.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not actually configuring. I have configured uh, multiple servers recently, but right now, I'm into management part. So I have good and very talented teams of engineers. I just have to guide
Okay.
them what to do. They usually perform the action. If something which needs to be done from my side, then I can do that.
Okay. Okay.
And nowadays, actually, engineers are very talented here as well, right?
Well, the technology is, available mostly on the YouTube or some other paid sites also like Udemy or something. So those who are interested, they are getting the knowledge from there also.
Mhm.
So which is good for the industry
Yeah,
to some
actually,
extent.
right. Right now engineers are going with the technology, but at my time or at our time, there was
It,
nothing like that. We just
yeah,
have to go to office for interview or any other purpose. Then, what advice uh, will be what advice given by the interviewer is please go and get some experience, then go back, then we will consider you. Those kind of comment
yeah,
I have seen
yes, yes,
multiple times, right? But right now,
yes,
what is happening here? Right now, students are graduating and then completing the certification. On
yeah,
behalf of certification, they just get the job, whatever they want, right? So
that's right.
those options are available now. But at our time, those options was not there. Even when I was graduated, on that time, I even don't know the name of Microsoft Windows operating system and multiple things. I was completely
Yeah,
unaware, no idea.
yes. And internet was not there, and it was very difficult
Internet
because
in
the
India
knowledge
also,
was not spreading.
yeah, in that time in India, I was using some kind of 2G mobile phone, like Nokia
Hmm.
1100 or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yes, yes,
So data packs was too high on that time in India.
that's
So
right.
like, okay,
And
so installation is finished. Now it is asking to add some supplement packs. We do not actually require supplements pack right now. I will let you
okay,
know what are the supplement packs. These are the additional packs, just like
okay,
plugins in Windows.
okay. Like receiver plugin.
Yeah, right. So we do not require any plugin.
Okay,
So now it is completing the installation and it will get completed in some time.
Okay. It's pretty fast. I mean, you have 16 GB and it's doing its job.
My laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will do now. Why? Because I've allocated only, let me check the memory utilization. It is 98% now, right?
Yes.
But processor is good and SSD is NVMe, na, so read write speed is very very high. So anyway, it's working. And
Yeah.
also I'm having one GPU as well, na, shared
Okay.
GPU for 7.8 GB. So
Okay.
somehow it will manage, no issue. And also, na, look, I think my shared and my my graphic and my those like 15 GB memory is combined, and as you can see, committed memory it is
Yeah.
showing here 18 GB.
Yeah.
It will work. After that, what I will do, I will reduce some memory of this delivery controller. Why? Because we have already installed. At the time of
Yeah.
installation, it will prompt. It's always prompt. Like please increase your memory, but right now it is not required. Once we have configured, we can drop this down to 3
Okay.
GB. So
Okay.
I have to cover up all the session on my laptop only. After that, I will hand over the hardware to you
Okay.
because I cannot engage my laptop.
Sure. Sure.
So that is the only reason.
Okay.
Okay, so basically now we have to check the IP address allocated to our hypervisor. No, okay, I think it's still installing, so network adapter is not started for this hypervisor.
Yeah.
Let me check the network configurations. It's host only. Okay, it will get the IP address from scope once it's booted. Okay, so
Okay.
just let me know what is your networking skills like. Are you quite comfortable to create a VLAN or change a VLAN, those kind of activities on Cisco servers?
Mm, I got the picture. How does it work? But never worked on the networking side also
Mm-hmm.
very deeply.
Mm-hmm.
I know familiar with the DSCP, DNS, and static IP, and you know those kind of things. I mean gateways, routers, and everything. Most of the components I'm familiar with, but never worked on the, especially with the Cisco routers and
No issue.
to,
Actually, I will let you know. Actually, in my initial days of my career, I was working with some a small kind of MNC. No, it was not MNC. It's a kind of local company in India. On that time, my job profile was for system administrator, but I have to work on each and everything. I have to cover up the network. I was working as a desktop engineer, but my title was for administrator. So on that time, I have learned a lot actually because I was got access to each and every component.
okay,
So that was very very helpful for me. Although although in my current profile, I don't have access to multiple things. Why? Because it is a big infra.
okay,
So, but in small or medium scale industries, uh, there will be opportunity to learn. If you want to learn, you have all the access, right?
yeah, yeah, you're right.
Again, it's prompting me. I think I have to renew my Zoom subscription. Actually, it is expired earlier. I didn't renew
Oh,
it.
okay, okay,
But now classes are fine, but those are limited to 45 minutes only, as per
oh,
the
okay,
after subscription expired actually.
okay. So you want to send me the new link about this?
Uh, let's wait for uh, let's wait for 9 minutes. Still we have.
Okay,
because after reboot it will take some time to get a home screen. So my plan is to disconnect the call at that time, then after 10 minutes we will connect.
Okay.
So actually, right now, what kind of pay scale you are getting over there means you are getting paid in Canadian dollars or in Indian INR, like, as you are
No,
not resident.
no. I'm a resident here actually.
Okay, okay,
I get paid in Canadian dollars. I
okay.
get $22 per hour right now. I think that's why because I want to increase this rate, and unless and until I finish Citrix, I cannot get it.
Mhm.
So after the certification part and after the, as you said, also the Windows
Okay, our
thing.
hypervisor is installed. So what I'm doing, I'm just clicking on OK and it will reboot. It will take a while to reboot. Yeah, please continue where you were.
Okay, yeah, sure. So after I'm done with the Citrix, probably the rate might go up to $30 sometime around 33 or maybe 35. It all depends on this experience also. So that's what I'm trying to increase the pay rate actually, unless and until I do some latest certification and latest technologies,
So why
I
are this
cannot get.
kind of package you are getting means on hourly basis? Like in India,
Yeah.
like there is no hourly basis kind of things. Actually, I'm getting my fixed package annually, right?
Okay.
So you are in support path or there is a different culture in Canada to pay
Mm,
like hourly or day wise means.
it's actually when you are on the contract basis or something like that, you get hourly paid. The benefits are not there.
Okay.
Okay, if the company offers you full time
Hmm.
position,
Hmm.
then it will be annually, configured payment salary.
Yeah, got it,
So
got it, got it. I got it.
yeah, so this is only the contractual. I mean, contracts are temporary; it's not permanent actually. Every 3 months, every 6 months, every 9 months, we have to renew it.
Okay, no issue.
And sometimes it depends on the business also. If the company is not, if you're in a very small company, they don't know. I mean, they want to just carry on with the same rate
Hmm.
since the pandemic is not doing much to
Right,
boost their business.
right.
So things will get clear hopefully once the pandemic get finished by 2023 or 24 or
Hmm.
maybe 25. Things will get better, I believe.
Right. So anyway, I can help you in Citrix certification as well. As I told you, I am having my personal corporate account with Citrix, right?
Thank you.
Actually,
Thank you.
it is registered on my behalf, which is TechMTech, my organization that I am running. I have started my YouTube career in lockdown itself because I was working from home, and when you are
Hmm.
working from home, you have not that much kind of tasks to perform. Actually, you just have to attend few meetings, right?
That's right.
And so I thought actually at that time, like, it is a correct time to move on to, YouTube or any other social media platform. So I have started recording at that time. Now it's
Okay.
almost 2 years now. I'm getting good response, so I am managing this in parallel as well, and it's a quite
Good.
great for
That's
my learning as well and for my exposure as well into the
good.
technical
Good.
field.
Good. Actually, you're spreading the knowledge. I mean, I've also contacted you through the YouTube.
Mhm.
Uh, the thing is that those who are willingness to learn more technologies,
Mhm. I have
they will
multiple
find.
students from Canada actually earlier, and even
Okay.
I think 3 or 4 months ago, I have got a batch from Canada that
Oh,
was
very good.
from some school or college. I'm not sure what was that, but I have got a call from one of the organization, and they offered me to educate 5 or 6 students at that time.
Okay,
So
good.
I accepted, and I spent my 7 days to train them, and
Good.
it's done actually.
Good.
So okay, so what I was telling to you is that I am having my corporate account with Citrix. So I am also having some vouchers from Citrix. So whatever exam cost Citrix can offer you, I can easily provide you 30% discount in that with my corporate voucher, right?
Okay.
So if you
Okay.
needed that,
Thank you.
you can contact me anytime. Okay.
I will contact. Yes. I
After
need to
your
get the certification.
after your trainings, you can opt for the examination, or two attempts will be there, right? So
Okay.
if you are unable to crack it anyhow, then in second attempt I will help you in that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And for the dumb questions, which
I will share. I will share. I will share.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
So actually it is booting up, and for first time it may take some time, and after that we will get a home screen. Okay.
Okay.
So what I will do, it's 3 minutes remaining, so I'm disconnecting this. Once I get the screen, I will share a new invite to you in a few minutes.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
Okay, buddy. Bye.
Okay. See you later.